to another episode of Double Nibble Computers. I thought I'd take a few minutes just to give you some background information of how this episode is kind of being put together and the history of it. So, if we go back one episode to the Heath H100, the gentleman I bought that from had this very DVI sitting on the floor when I got there, and I got all excited because I've never seen one in real life. And we started chatting, and he mentioned he had a big load of 100s and 102s, and this was the only DVI that he had. So I mentioned at the time, well, whenever you're thinking of selling it, let me know. So he said, yeah, give me about a month or two. Well, a week later, he's like, no, I want to get rid of some stuff. So long story short, I bought this DVI along with a 100, and there's a couple of small cables. And then we were talking, and I mentioned about how the Heath blew up, because it blew up real good. And so he felt bad, so he gave me another great deal on a 102, and that also came about of the conversation we're also having is, okay, well, which one do you think is better, the 100, the 102? Yeah, I'm not going to cover that because there's so many pros and cons against each one. So long story short, though, I wound up leaving with a 100, a 102, and this DVI. And about 2 weeks after that, he emails me again saying, hey, listen, I want to get rid of the rest of the stuff as a whole lot. I'll give you a good price on it. Are you interested? So we talked numbers and, yeah, went out, bought it. So in total, if you consider this whole transaction one transaction, I walked away with, sorry, I forget all the exact numbers now. There were 4 102s. I think it was 13 100s. The one DVI that's pictured here. There was also 2 of the portable disk drives. So one of the single-sided model, just affectionately known as the PDD-1, and then the double-sided model, or double density, I forget which one it is, but it's got more capacity on it. That's the PDD-2. So I got 2 of those, so one of each. There was like 6 cassette drives, which I never really use anyway. Well, maybe I should. In different cables and stuff, there was, like a brand new parallel cable, a couple serial cables, some books. So overall, it was a good deal. And then the problem became of, okay, well, where do I start with this? Because, I already had, as I said before, the 100 and the 102, so I started playing with those already. And I think I made 1 or 2 videos at that point, well, segments anyway. I haven't actually started the whole video process, but in segments. And then I got the bigger lot, so now everything's just kind of a mess. I'm trying to piece together something that kind of makes sense in terms of logical flow, what's happening. The other thing to mention, with the 100 that I bought, it actually came with the Node 102. Sorry, I'm getting all confused here. It's called the Node datapac. It was for the 102, but it was working on the 100. And this one gave you 128K of extra RAM, so it kind of worked as an actual like RAM drive. So that was kind of neat. And it's not banked either. You see a lot of them, they're banked in 32Ks. This one's actually one chunk of 128. So that was one of the exciting things I got. And I should also mention with a lot that I got, one of the cool things again was there was a 256K version, which I'll cover later. That one needed a little bit of repair. But yeah, there's a 256. And then I found out apparently I can very easily, soldering, upgrade the 128 to 256. It's just in one of those cases, early 80s technology where you piggyback the chips, pull off one of the address wires, and run that separately. And apparently, again, just apart from soldering the chips on and running a small wire, that's about as easy as it gets. And on that note, let's start rolling around with the actual video. I'm going to start off with the inventory review. This was the, not the first 2, but the larger lot, as I said, as I got. And we'll start with that. So please enjoy, and here we go.
Hello. So for those that have seen some of my Facebook posts, I recently purchased a small little stash here of Model 100s and a couple of 102s. So I thought we'd go through the 100s together and see what we have. For tracking purposes, I made a little spreadsheet just with the serial numbers, and this way I can enter how much RAM's on it and that kind of fun stuff. So I'm going to try the first one here. This is 5973. Let me just get the cursor over there so I know what's happening. Okay. And I got a power adapter for this one. It came with a few power adapters, but I figure I might as well use the newer one. Something a little safer with a little more oomph. The other ones are only 400 milliamps, which isn't quite a lot. So, okay, let's turn this on here. And of course, the first one's showing up dead. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just gray pixels on there. Okay, I should have mentioned this one is one of the ones that had the corrosion in it. 3 of them had batteries out of the stash, and that's the first thing I checked when I got them. One just had no problems with it. The other one was just starting to corrode, nothing major. This one had the most severe of it. So obviously there must have been some leakage on the board. But just for fun, I'm going to hit reset here. Start learning where everything is here. Nope. And control brake. No. Doesn't look like I'm getting any life off the board. Okay, well that's fine. You can always use a parts computer. Okay. This is another one here. Oh, actually, I should hang on 1 second. Update my list here. Dead. Okay. So this guy, where'd it go there? It's number 8006. It's the 3801 model. So the 3801s were the 8Ks. And then you have the 3802s, which were 24K. And then you move into the 3803, which is the 102s. Now, just because it's the 3801 doesn't mean that it's fixed at 8K. It could have been upgraded. So, let's plug this guy in here. And turn it on. Oh, there we go. Switch is a little cranky. Ah, see, there we go. 24K. Okay, that's not too bad. Needs a little bit of a cleaning, but not too bad there. Let's drop into basic. Oop, yeah, it looks okay. So the keyboard looks good. Okay, so we got basic functionality. I'm okay with that. So this is a 24K model. And where'd it go there? I forgot the numbers. 8006. So bear with me again here. Just update my list. 24K. Works. Okay. So I'll put this on a different pile than the other one. Now this one was an interesting one. I think I'll start with the 3 that don't have a case. This was one of the ones that had the battery corrosion on it. The interesting thing here, and let me zoom out here, pardon the mess on the desk here. I was going to use some batteries, but I decided to go with the power instead. Let's get these out of the way here. Alright. Sorry, supercapacitors. What a mess. This one has an extra DB9 on it. Now, I haven't opened this one up yet. What I'm thinking is, because of where it's placed just in front of the battery here, I'm assuming that's an external battery connector. Obviously, we're not going to know until we open it. But, first things first, let's see if this one works. So I'm going to make sure that's off first here. Okay, let's see here. Oh, nice. This one's a 32 model. Oh, sorry, I should zoom in a little more here. Yeah, let's go like that. Okay. Cool. So a maxed out 100. Keyboard check. I'm not going to give a full keyboard check, but I figure if the majority of the keys work, then most of them should. C's a little funky. Okay. Well, that's a fun one. Okay. So, this one is 0153. Okay. So now the rest of these monsters have cases in them, so let's take them out of the case here. This one doesn't look too bad. Okay. Yeah, some scratches and stuff. But hey, they're 40 years old. Okay. Looks like it's been melted. I wonder if someone's been in this one already. Okay, here. Let's see what to expect on this one. It's a 3802, so it should be at least 24K. And, whoop. This one's got issues. You notice here the light is flickering. Okay, I'm just going to give this a second, see maybe a little bit of a charge will help. Let's turn it off. Back on. Okay, it's hard to tell. I am getting some LED grids on. I don't know if you can see it on there. It's hard to tell from my angle at the moment because I've got a little bit of a glare on my phone that I'm using. So, yeah. Now to mention, there was this one and the other one that had the same problem. And earlier I had a 102 that developed that problem. And with replacing the onboard memory battery, that seemed to have solved it. So this could be the same issue there. It could just be super corroded. Anyways, 2786. 2786. Dead. Okay. So that's dead. Next. Okay, this is a 3801, so this is at the very least 8K. And this one actually looks kind of nice. It's pretty clean looking. Obviously the keyboard's a little dusty, but no major scraping or anything, and just some minor, microscopic little scrape lines on the plastic bezel here. Okay, let's see what we do here. Oh, this one turns on. So this one would be a 16K, so it has been upgraded manually. Radio Shack only sold these things with 8K or 24K. If you see any oddballs like this, 16, then someone had the 8K, which we knew this model was, and upgraded it. And my dog is barking. And this keyboard seems nice. Cool. Okay. Oops. If I learned how to type better, that might be better. Okay. So we got a 16K one. This is 1689. 1689, where are you there? There you go. 16K. Works. Okay. In the pile behind me. Okay, so this one, oh yeah, this is a fun one. So it's a 3801. Check this out though. Let me get it closer here. Prize Selection Department Reader's Digest. So this was actually a Reader's Digest prize at some point. And look at it, it's near mint looking on the bottom, so I don't think it was used a lot. Some minor scratches on top, but still pretty good looking. So again, being the 3801, minimum 8K on this one. So let's turn that on. Oh yeah, this is definitely an 8K model. I got 5K left. But hey, pretty clean looking. So obviously, if I had to, I can take some ramp on those dead ones and put it over. Okay, let me update my list here. I'll actually try the keyboard quickly. Okay, looks pretty good. Where were you again? 5871. 5871. This is 8, not 87. 8K, and works. Okay. 3 to go. So this one I pulled upside down, but I mean, again, this one looks pretty clean upside down here. A little yellow on top. This might be a fun one to retrobite. 3802. So again, this will be a 24 model. Possibly 32. No, 24. I love the feel of these keyboards. I've heard that from a lot of people. They're going, I just love the way the 100 feels, and it's true. This has just got that nice vintage 80s feel to it. Oops, if I take numlock off, that would help. Nice. Okay. Oops. Turn you off. And you are, where'd you go there? 1396. 1396. 24K. Works. Okay. Into the pile. Two more. So this one I remember. It looks quite nice, but I noticed when I took the batteries out, the battery door is broken, so I put some tape on it because it's kind of flappy. A little bit of corrosion on this one. This was one of the, no, this was the other battery corroded one. Now that I remember it. It wasn't the heavily destroyed one, but some corrosion on it. Oh, sorry. This is a 3802. At the very least, 24K. Oh, it's a 32. Nice. Oh, I might have to steal a battery door off one of those dead ones. Interesting. Okay. Basic. Nice. Okay. I don't know if you can tell this one from the other one, but the keys are really nice and bright on this one. Oop. Okay. Sorry, I'm just keep going for thinking the switch here, but that's the contrast brightness dial there. Okay, what did I say you were here? 6038. 6038. 32K. Works. Hey, last but not least, I'm just going to put this one off to the side here. This one's got a little scrape on top here. I wonder if that'll buff out. I've always wanted to try a magic eraser on one of these, but kind of nervous. But it looks good overall, though. So this is also a 3802. Get that pouch out of the way there. Okay, let's see what happens here. Hey, another 32. Okay. I love surprises. Sorry, I don't know the brightness looks good there. Okay. Yeah, random keys seem okay. Okay. Well, that's it for the small pile. I'll show you the 102s in a bit, and I'll show you the two that I am using as my main models. But yeah, for now I just wanted to go through the quick little list here, and then figure what I'm going to do with the broken ones, or let them not quite dry out. I should open them and take a look. Okay. Anyways, see you in a bit. So I'm back with one of the models I was showing here. This is the 32K100 with that weird DB9. Now I've pulled the screws out, and let's see if I can get into this one relatively easy here. There we go. So let's see what's inside. Okay, kind of a interesting concoction here. Okay, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. I don't think it's battery. I think there was a extension power for something. I didn't get a matching DB9 with some kind of harness or wire or anything with this one. So that's a little bit on the strange side. Because if you look at it, you got these wires here. It's like a one on VEE, which is the -5. One on VDD. I'm assuming that one's ground. Could be VCC. There's 3 over here. And 2 of them are coming up here. So I'm not familiar offhand with where all the pinouts are, and I have to measure it. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I would say external power. That would be my guess on this one. I wonder where you put external power on this. Yeah, while I'm in here. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. I gotta pull that battery out. I'll do it later, but the board looks clean. And you can see over here's the 32s. Okay. Well, a little bit of a mystery. I mean, part of it's mostly solved here. It is power. But, yeah, why? Okay. Well, let's move on to another one. Stand by. I had just a quick little thought as I'm putting this thing back together. What if, okay, it's not power coming in, it's power going out. I wonder if this thing was powering something else. I don't know what would need all 3 voltage levels. Well, for any of you out there who are actually quite familiar with these things, and you might have an idea what this is, I mean, obviously you can bring power into it with the separate rails on it, but if you think it's outgoing power, what do you think this thing was trying to power? That would be, I'd love to know. Because I know there's the node packs. They're, actually, I got one right beside me here. So we got the external node packs, so those are powered off the ribbon cable. And this was one of the ones in the lot, but obviously there's no extra wires or anything on it. There's a 128 as well that I have. That was the first one I got, but same thing, there's no external wiring. I did get 2 of the portable disk drives, the PDDs, Model 1 and Model 2. And same thing, I don't remember seeing any extra wires on that. So maybe it is power in, could be power out. I don't know. Again, let me know in the comments, and we'll take it from there. Hi all, just wanted to show something off here. So this is the data pack, and it says RAM expansion, but it's more of a RAM drive than anything else. And it says model 102/200, but this one actually came off a 100. The cable was a little questionable, so I kind of made one for the 200. And that's just a standard, Raspberry Pi GPIO cable. Male-female ID, basically. So the interesting thing here, it gives you 128K, as RAM drive storage. And that's a lot of memory on a 100/200. So this would actually sit on the bottom, of the 100 or the 200. Sorry, you get the idea here. So it'd be like that, and it's actually kind of wedged, so when you're using it, it's on a nice angle. And I just thought I'd take a couple seconds here and open this one up. And I also have acquired a second one. It's a 256 model. So let's open those two up and compare it. Be right back. Okay, to save some time, I took the screws off. So this is the 128K. This is the one I got recently with the 100. And then just a couple of days ago, I picked up another TRS-80 / Tandy 100-102 lot from the same guy, mind you. And it had this. So it's the 256 version. This is what the original cable looks like. And the odd thing is, where pin 1 is located here, for some reason they flipped the cable around on this one. So I'll have to look into that a little closer. But I wanted to open these up and show you. Now, there is a user out there called Brian White. He has one of these, and he's reverse engineered it and released the PC board Gerbers on GitHub and various sites, and even made a smaller version. But he doesn't have the ROM, and I'm working with them to dump the ROM out. It's upside down here. 1 second. So there's the ROM for it. So hopefully in the next couple of days I'll be able to dump that and share it with everybody. So we're going to open this one up. Hopefully this one I should be able to open because I had it open a couple of days ago. Yeah, opens nicely here. Sorry. I don't have my phone holder with me. I'm kind of doing this at work during a break. So this is the 128K. It's pretty clean inside. And the one thing I loved about this one, it has a Motorola battery, and it's not focusing. There we go. It's got a Motorola battery that still works. It's nickel metal hydride, so rechargeable, and it's actually still holding a charge. So that's kind of a good thing. And you can see over there it says node on it. 1987. And the chips. Sorry, they're upside down. And then based on the cable, I'm assuming pin 1 is actually, where's my video? Over here, so I wrote pin 1 on it. Well, that's neither here nor there at the moment. And then for those of you who are on different Facebook groups, there was a conversation I had with Brian White about what the difference between the 128 and the 256 was, because I knew there was a 256 out there. And apparently all you do is just add the chips on top of this. And there's, where is it here? One of these access pin ports. I believe it's this one. You pull one of the pins off on top there. So you piggyback all the RAM chips, solder everything but the one pin. And the one pin would go over to one of these ports. So now, I said I've been in this one recently. So this is my newest acquisition. And I took the screws off. I'm trying to do this with one hand, as I said. Nope. I'm going to put you in pause for a sec here. Okay, so I pried one side open here. Maybe I should have... Whoops. Okay, I should have waited, and I just closed it again. Okay, I was going to pull it off. I was going to give you kind of like a grand reveal of what's inside here, but I'm going to pull it off a little bit more. Be right back. Okay, so I pulled it open. I haven't actually looked at it yet, because I thought I'd show everything all in one here. Ooh, a little bit of dirt. That's not good. Okay, let's see if this is the same, and... There we go. Put them together. So the first thing I notice is the battery is different. Same type, looks like. Oh, look at that. Yeah, let me, sorry, I'm too close to the camera to zoom in here. There you go. So this one did leak a little bit. It physically looks like the same kind of battery here, but you can see there's a little bit of leakage going on. Interesting. Okay, that'll have to be cleaned. But what I wanted to check was, yeah, so Brian, as Brian mentioned, these were piggybacked. And you can see where the pin wire is. Now I'm gonna have to. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure why that's sticking out. I'll have to investigate that further. Okay then. Oh, the other interesting thing though. So this one actually has the IDC header on it. Hard to take off while I'm one-handed here, but anyways. It's got the pins on it. This one does not. Interesting. It's not that I can tell, but it looks like it's the pinned on type. Yeah, that's not budging. Okay. Well, at least the cable seems okay. But, yeah. So the good thing to note here is the... Get over here. Focus. So all one has to do to go from 128 to 256 is just piggyback some RAM chips, pull that one missing pin off, and here we go. That's cool. And then, yeah, there's a better picture of some corrosion going on. Okay. Now, just wanted to show the inside, so I'm going to put them back together. And I know the 128 works, but we'll try the 256. Hang on. Okay, so here we have the 102 with the RAM expansion going on here. Nothing's blown up yet. I cleaned off the corrosion a little bit there. I am at work at the moment, so I don't have my chemicals with me. But let's just see if this thing actually is responding basically here. So you go into basic. My enter key is a little... Oh, that's interesting. I have noticed the other one does that too sometimes. I don't know if it's a compatibility with the 102 or... because the ROM did say it was for the 100. So let's try this again here. Okay, give me 1 second. Was it control? Do a hard shift here, or a hard reboot. Control, pause, reset, and I need 2 hands. Be right back. Okay, nothing better than a hard reset some days. Okay. So, call 63012. Oops, sorry. Okay, doesn't look like it's responding. There were a few addresses for this thing. And that one locked up. Okay, let's restart it here. Try it again. Oh, okay, it's showing up now for some reason. RAM disk. Weird. My cursors aren't working. Huh. Okay, let me figure what's going on here, but yeah, I've lost my cursors. Maybe the corrosion's acting worse than I thought. Okay, be right back. Okay, let's try that again. So, I unplugged it quickly just to see if it works, had to reboot it. Cursors are working without it, and I should have, yeah, see, cursors are working now. So, let's try this again here. Now, I know my enter key's been a little strange on this one. So, I don't know why it does that. Okay. Let's see what happens. Call 63012. Oh, look at that. So I did find it. So format RAM drive, only because it hasn't been used in a while and it's lost its formatting. So let's go yes. Okay, and... So let's use the... I'm trying to remember how to use this now. And I've lost the cursors again. Interesting. The clock stopped. Okay. Well, this one has some issues, I guess, sadly. Where's reset? So you can go into RAM disk. This is the way the 128 worked. Looks like I need to fix my keyboard. Ever have one of those videos that just doesn't go the way you want it to? This is one of those. Now, of course, I haven't fully tried out this thing to its fullest extent here. Oh. Okay, well, let me unplug the 256. I'll throw the 128 on just to show you what it looks like. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back with the 128 now. And this is still showing up in memory, so let's see if it actually loads. See, it's the same problem. Sometimes it works. It's kind of strange. Maybe the RAM popped out a little bit. Okay, let me reset the... not the RAM, the ROM. Let me go reset the ROM and see what happens. Be right back. Okay, let's try this again. RAM disk. Nope. Okay, bear with me a second here. Let's do another reboot. Control... what was there? Control, break, reset. Okay, here we go. Let's drop into basic. See, it's still doing that even if I try to get into basic. Okay. Well, I'll have to play with this later. I gotta get back to work. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I just tried basic again and it seems a little stable. This 102 is pretty much stock. The only thing I replaced was the onboard battery because that one totally failed. So this thing could use a recapping, which might explain why this thing is acting a little strange. So, let's go into basic. And my enter is a little sticky. Okay, see, so basic works nicely. So we go call 63012. And then, okay, so this is just the EEPROM files. This should boot up the RAM disk itself. Oh, no, that's just the file. Okay, where did I go wrong here? There it is. So that's the RAM disk control itself. Yeah, so there it is. It's working. 243. Sorry, trying to keep my hands out here. Kind of look like a little crab going on. Let's see here. So there you go. Change the contrast a bit. So 243 out of 256. It's pretty decent. I mean, some of that is lost to this file over here. And text is just the text editor, but it saves directly onto the RAM drive. So let's go back to exit. Yeah, see, I don't know why it's doing this. Some kind of file or something got corrupted. Let's see what happens if I kill it. No, let's just select. Okay, I'll select it. Oh, somehow I moved the file over. Okay. Interesting, because this should be strictly on the EEPROM. Okay, I'll tell you what here. Let's go and try to... Pardon me again, I'm only running here and put up my cell phone holder. Okay, So now we're back to factory reset because I hit the, what is it? Sorry, control, break, and then the reset. I guess it's a hard reset boot. There we go. Let's try that. Alright, let's try this one more time here. Whoops. Sorry, I hit screenshot by accident. Let's try that again. Okay, like I said, enter's a little cranky. Okay, so here we go. Call 63012. Okay, so that boots right in there, and we got the 243K. What was it here? Exit is F1. So that takes us back. Everything seems to look normal now. So I got the basic, the text, my telecom's running. And then I'll go back into RAM disk. There you go. And this is the, it's like the onboard manual, for lack of better words here. Come on. Oh, it's doing it again. Like I said, it's kind of quirky. Yeah, well, maybe I'll go home later and try to fire up one of the 100s. Okay, well, that's it for now. Okay, so we're back with one of the 24K models. This was the one that I mentioned is slightly melted on the side, and some scrapes and stuff. The one thing I did notice, and on my list, I've been keeping track of these codes, and I asked on a Facebook page what these codes mean, and now it makes total sense. And whoop, let me show you here. Sometimes over here, and on this one over here, let me zoom in so you can see it. So 5A3 means May of 1983, and both of my did units are made in May 1983. They both have this 5A3 code. So, kind of wondering, maybe it's just a funky batch or something. I don't know. The which one was it here? The Reader's Digest one, the one that works, the 8K, the Surprise model. That's also made in May, but I don't know. I'm not sure whether there's a difference between the 8K and the 24s. There shouldn't be. It should be the same base model with just the different RAMs on it. But that one worked, and these two don't. It's just kind of weird that both are made in May, which is really sad because May's my birth month. Anyways, let's take a look at this thing. So I can try to. Again, it feels like this one has been opened before. Sorry, forgot to zoom out. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold for a second and just grab a little pick. I don't remember where I got this from, but it's basically, it looks like a plastic razor blade. But you can slide it in and try to ping off the clips and stuff in there. There we go. Look at that. Just like butter. Alright, some on the sides. Okay, let's see what's inside, shall we? Well, nothing obvious sticking out. So this one is a 24 model. There's some corrosion over here. It's hard to tell. I'll try to zoom in a little here. Yeah, I'm gonna take. So right over here, it's hard to tell, but it looks like there's some corrosion. I can't say that being the major problem, but you know. Oh, I think that's glue. Where's my finger? Here it is. So I think that's a crystal. I don't think that's a capacitor. Okay, well. No mysteries here. Okay, so we're here with the last of the 24Ks. Or I should say the last of the dead 24Ks. So I already pulled the screws off. And let's just take a little pop on this one here. See if there's anything out of the ordinary or anything out of the obvious. Come on. There we go. Okay. And, oh, okay, well here. First thing I noticed, and this is a good thing though, it's got the extra RAM on this one. And I just thought of something. Because these are 24K stock. I mean, it's obviously the extra 8 for the 32. These are soldered on. It should be a little bit of a pain if I want to take them off and, let's say, donate them to one of the other machines. At least that comes out easy. Okay. Let's see what we see here. Let's zoom in a little better. So, it's a little hard to see. There seems to be more corrosion in the same spots. I'm assuming these little guys leak like there's no tomorrow. So I got some corrosion there. There is some discoloration on this chip. Oh, sorry. There we go. A little bit of discoloration going on there. Oh, found it. Sorry if I'm gonna... here we go. So we got some decent amount of corrosion going on here. Okay, well that could be fun. That could be the problem too. A little bit of cap leakage on this one, but there's obviously a lot of actually like battery corrosion. Maybe it'll clean up. And, oh, that's glue. Where's it? Oh, okay, for the wires. Okay, sorry, I'm looking. Oh, sorry. Wasn't paying attention to the camera there. Sorry for the blurriness there. Where'd it go here? Just out of camera zone here. There we go. Thought I saw something over here, but it's actually just glue for the wiring, so we can ignore that comment. But, yeah. Okay, well this one might definitely be a parts machine. Kind of sad. The rest of it looks pretty good. But you never know. I've seen weirder things clean up nicely. So let's start the cleanup process, and I'll be back. Not sure if you can see it or not here, but where'd it go? And as you see, I threw some vinegar on it just to try to neutralize any acids from the batteries. It's actually sizzling, so there's a lot of stuff going on in there. Okay, that's all I wanted to share.